Welcome back to Royal Alchemist, the extended demo. You voted for it, so here it is, part 2. And yeah, I'm actually quite happy to be back here, even though I had to replay, well, the first part I played already. But yeah, I'm not quite sure which sentence we left off. I did not check, so it should be one of these next ones. So yeah, let's just get back into this. This way, my lady, if you will allow me. I smile back and, falling into step alongside the prince, finally walk under the towering arched gate and into the great sprawling pillars of Fostrex. Fostrex, yes. Grimoire updated. New Grimoire characters unlocked. Zarin, Nazir, and Aurelius. Nice. Prince Zarin takes me past the garden forecourt into a sumptuously appointed antechamber within one of the palace's wings. I hope you will forgive poor Hagen. Yeah, why didn't we... Zarin, why didn't we get an updated character info about Hagen? I want to know all about him being found with... in a tavern? Was it? In a tavern. That was something else. But I forgot, even though I read it just now. Wow. The heat is getting to my head. Oh yeah, you might hear my fan. I'm not sure if you can, but it is going on in the background because I will not survive this without my fan. Even though today is alright. I'm rambling. I'm sorry. I'm just so tired, and you know me, I get rambly if I'm tired. He is new to his job and clearly requires a great deal more manners, self-preservation, intelligence, pedigree, polish? Just so polish. Here's to hoping poor Hagen gains it quickly. And before he challenges another Rosenkreuz or some nobility that are less gracious about letting him walk after crossing them, I am afraid I must now take my leave. There are preparations I have to make for the state dinner, so the palace staff will attend to all your needs from this point on today. Thank you so much for helping me, Your Highness. It was my pleasure. He nods politely and leaves the antechamber. I seriously should look up these words, but no. The moment he steps outside, a dozen maidservants and a butler stream into the room. Oh, and butlers, I'm sorry, multiple ones, as if summoned out of thin air. Truly, my thanks for your assistance cannot be fully articulated into words, Zarin. I aim the thought of gratitude after the good prince as a pretty maid in a frilly dress leads me gently by arm to what she assures me will be the fanciest bath I have ever seen in my life. Sure, not that I need it. Sure, I need a bath. No, don't get me wrong, but I don't need a fancy bath. But okay. The remainder of the afternoon passes in an indistinct blur. I am conducted into a luxurious bath of scented soap and multicolored bubbles, where I, at last, wash off the ashes and blood in steaming hot water. Conducted into. Okay, never heard that phrasing. When I step out of the bath, my clothes are neatly laid out on a bed, crisp and clean, next to a large white towel, still warm with the sun. A maidservant enters the chamber the moment I finish dressing, carrying a tray laden with pastries, fruits, and piping hot tea. Right. Piping hot tea. As I sit on a fur-lined couch nibbling a buttery scone and savouring the rich herbal aroma left by the scalding tea, the nightmarish events of the previous night seemed to disappear. But the respite does not last long. A sombre butler in an immaculate black suit soon glides into the room and announces in a funeral tone that this evening's state dinner in honor of the High Council is about to begin. Sure. Did you change your art style? Okay. Friends, countrymen, and honored guests. Before we begin tonight's state dinner, there is an announcement I wish to make on behalf of the Regency Council. The Lord Regent, the late King's younger brother, appears to be a subdued-looking gentleman with greying hair and a tired voice. He speaks standing next to the empty throne, and his voice is barely audible over the chattering crowd of Eskian citizens milling about the throne room. After such deliberation, the Regency Council that decided upon a candidate to be the realm's royal tutor for the three princes, and these words, the chatter between those in attendance quickly increases in volume. I see glances dart my way, not all of them friendly. Stop moving around, will you? She's the Scion of the ancient and noble house of Rosenkreuz. Hi, Jackson. Bye, Jackson. An accomplished practitioner in the art of magic, and a foremost member in the High Council's most worthy order of obscure nobodies, useless upstart potion makers. Leave magic to the magest alchemist. A storm of harsh laughter and scorn bursts from the nobles. My jaws clench and I dig my nails into the palm of my hand. How dare they? Order! Order! Thankfully, the disruption does not last long. The blatant contempt is hardly partaken in by anyone aside from the nobles. Representatives from Eskia's circle of mages, which should be eager to participate in the outrage after having their colleagues in the High Council appoint me in their stead, are looking at me sympathetically. I sincerely urge our peers in this palace to conduct themselves with a dignity befitting their high station. The glamour dies down, but the lackluster sentiment by the aristocracy kept an unfortunate stronghold on the atmosphere of the room. As I was saying, we in the Regency Council have determined. While the Lord Regent drones on, I start to survey the room, trying to decipher the lay of the political landscape. The nobility presents an almost uniformly hostile obstacle to my new duties. High up the balustrade, the high nobles look down on me, cold and implacable. They do not shout or jeer. They do not need to. Below them, their vassals, the minor barons and counts, are all too eager to bark at their master's bidding. The mages are divided. Half of them regard me with undisguised disapproval as an interloper encroaching on their traditional area of prerogative. Wow. There are so many words I do not know, which in all fairness I suppose I am. The other half observe me with detached curiosity, as though I were a new and potentially interesting specimen of mouse about to be experimented on. The few alchemists in the hall, from whom I expected expressions of support, offer none. Hemmed in between the nobles and the mages, they make a self-effacing group, trying not to be noticed. A few of them smile at me, more out of pity than encouragement. Being young and high-spirited, the princes should be governed by a temperate and moderating influence, the more in the instruction of an art as subtle and perilous as that of magic. The princes. I wonder how they are doing. Trying to keep myself from yawning, I cast my eyes about the room, for I don't talk about yawning. About the room for the 3 young men I met earlier today. Prince Seren is standing at full attention immediately to the right of the throne, with hands clasped behind his back, his face a mask of dutiful attention. Next to him, Prince Nazir slouches against a pillar. He catches my eyes and offers a lazy wink. The gesture prompts me to smile in acknowledgement and reply. The idea to survey the room must have occurred to Prince Aurelius as well. He is scanning the great hall from one end to another, brows creased in a slight frown. Our gazes meet. He stares keenly at my face for a moment before his eyes flicker away quite impersonally to the person next to me. Let us, therefore, wish the royal tutor every success in guiding their Highnesses the Prince of Eskia on the paths of wisdom and virtue. May they flourish under her guidance. It sounds like the Lord Regent's address is winding down at last. To Alexis of Rosenkreuz, our tutor to the princes. For a second, absolute silence reigns. I feel my cheeks flush. A ringing noise fills my ears. Then, "Hear, hear!" Prince Nazir shouts cheerfully as he clasps, which echoes through the cavernous room. Prince Seren joins him the briefest instant later, adding his applause to his brother's. Then Prince Aurelius too is clapping, and soon so is everyone else in the throne room, with every display of enthusiasm. Nobody wishes to be seen holding back, or worse, cheering, when their future sovereign, whoever he may be among the 3, is applauding. My lords and ladies, I formally declare the state dinner for this evening open. I am almost sure I hear a sigh of relief from the Lord Regent as he steps down from the podium. At the far end of the throne room, trains of servants bring out silver platters piled high with steaming and aromatic delicacies. Just remember that they used silver to detect poison. God damn it, I can't speak. During that time, apparently, it oxidates if there's poison, so it darkens, and that's how you are supposed to be able to detect poison. Yeah, the more you know. History? Why history? No, not history. Go back. Go back. Why can't I go back? What's going on? My voice is killing me. Come on. Delicacies, yes, can we go on? Thank you. With great eagerness, the assembly of nobility breaks into little groups, shuffling their way to the buffet table. I pause, wondering with whom I should speak to over dinner. Who should I talk to? Yeah, good question. Wow, music, you're loud. You are loud. So, is this me choosing my favorite so far? Because, I tend to like the more dark-ish people that do not talk much. Prince Aurelius in this case, the most. And I like his look as well. The Lord Regent might be interesting to get more information about this whole place and, well, this regency in itself. Nazir, you know, I know these womanizer characters normally have a secret they want to, I don't know, hide in their in what I don't know how, and drown it in women and wine, something like that. And the overly gentle one, Saren, yeah, they're normally quite evil. Yeah, so who to choose? I don't know. I don't know, so let's go for Aurelius. With a cup of wine in hand, I come through the ballroom in search of Prince Aurelius. However, he is nowhere to be found. None of the guests I ask know where he is, nor do they sound terribly interested in finding out either. Yeah, I guessed as much. Eventually, behind a small table tucked into the farthest corner of the throne room, there he is. Prince Aurelius sits a bit further away from the table. He leans forward at an angle that lets him rest his elbows on his thighs while staring at the glass of wine resting in his hand. I move to stand behind the chair opposite him. Is this spot taken? His eyelashes flutter as he glances at me, just for a second, and then quickly looks away. I don't see anyone else. I dare say this isn't the most welcoming invitation I've ever received, but I am willing to act on it anyway. As I sit down, the scent of western flowers envelops me. The aroma persists faintly in his proximity, but mixed with the red wine in his hand complements his appearance so well that I suddenly recall some members of the council referring to him as an exotic beauty. Exotic beauty. Sure. No. You're not going to join the ball. Evidently. Why not? Why aren't you? The prince's indestructible gaze falls upon me, with it the intense intention, neither to provide an answer to my question nor to listen to any answer of mine. Curiosity rises within me as I set my cup of wine aside, a gesture Prince Aurelia mimics. Something the late guard captain, may he rest in peace, told me tugged at my mind. He had said there was no love between the nobles and the youngest prince. Should I ask? Would I be prying if I did? Yeah, you would. But still. Fine. I'll take a guess, or the conversation will indubitably go nowhere. From my understanding, you don't greatly like the noblemen here, do you? I suppose I like them about as much as they like me. Which is to say, not at all. I applaud your perspicacity. Why do you have to make it this hard to read? Alright. Yeah, I know. I could learn more English words. But be honest. Who would use this version of that word? Who would say that? Not many people. So yeah, me not knowing how to pronounce it or not knowing the meaning of some words, I know in this context what it is supposed to mean, sure, but still, I'm fine with not knowing how to pronounce it and probably making it sound way worse than it actually is. But yeah. Why is that? Why, I wonder? His tone could not have conveyed "it's none of your business" more clearly. Had he outright said it, the word may have been somewhat kinder than this. Very well, your highness, I can take a hint. Can you? I was starting to have my doubts. I stand up, feeling affronted. My curiosity about the youngest prince does not transcend my pride as a Rosenkreuz. If you would rather not put up with my company, why, you could have said so at the beginning and thus saved both of us the trouble. True, but I doubt he would say that. To save what remained of my dignity in front of the prince, I make my move to leave, stretching out my hand to take my wine glass. At the same time, of course, Prince Aurelius reaches out for the very same glass. Why are we in my stats now? I did not move a thing. Sure, so what do we have? 5 intelligence, 5... What? What's that? Okay, okay, 5 leadership, 5 charisma, 0 combat, 5 intelligence, 0 etiquette, and 0 beauty. Thanks! Saren? What? Ah, so we have to level all of them up? Okay. What is all this? Why? I hate this controller. Seriously, controller, stop it. This is way better. Daily life. Routes. Okay. Interesting. So there's a Seren, Nazir, and Aurelius route, obviously. Then I guess there is a magic route with the pentagram. A queenship one where we take the crown, maybe. The oh god, what's it called in English? Something like balanced, rolling, war, and peace, something like that. Daily death. Okay, there's daily death. What is daily death? Okay, haven't found that one yet. Characters, obviously. Saren, Nazir, Aurelius. Wow. I hate this menu. I hate this menu. Sure, let me return, please. Otherwise, I'm gonna go crazy. Yeah, okay, well, let's continue. Just as I realized that by my mistake I was reaching for the wrong glass, our hands touch. I feel him tense up, then jerk away. You can't see it, but my eye rolling is a thing. The abrupt movement of Prince Aurelius's hand knocks the glass cup from the table. It falls and shatters, spraying wine all over the floor. The floor was not the only victim. I stared in dismay at the dark droplets straining the front of my shirt. So I'm both unwanted and repulsive. Good to know. What happened, Your Highness? Oh dear, oh dear. 2 servants materialize out of the thin air, towels and mops in hand. One of them turns to me, bowing. Don't worry, my lady, we'll soon take care of it. Thank you. I look up to see Prince Aurelius glaring at me as though it were somehow entirely my fault that we ended up in this predicament. It kind of is only your fault. Sure, he moved his hand away, but I'm not so fond of being touched by someone I do not know, especially when they want to drink out of my glass. So yeah, not sure if I would, well, move my hand away, but yeah, oh well. Oh well, I can't turn my logic into gaming logic. People would go crazy, I believe. Um. No, not exit. I don't want to close the game. Alright. Claire back will apologize. No. I want to go the confrontational route. I am sorry. I tend to be more passive aggressive when I'm tired. So let's clear back. Combat plus. Great. I glare back at him. The tension-filled silence between us lengthened as we glowered each other. For a brief moment I considered apologizing, since reaching for the wrong glass was indeed my fault. Yes, it was. Although the blame isn't mine alone, if he hadn't riled me up in the start, the mess wouldn't have happened. Not so sure about that, but sure, if you say so. And it is my show that has been stained, as well as my bride. At last, Prince Aurelius breaks his eye contact and with a sigh. Very well, I admit that I am partially to blame. Thank goodness! With that, the tension is gone. I reply with a nod. It was clumsy of me as well. I kneel down and take a spare piece of cloth from the nearby chair. What are you doing? Helping the servants. You don't have to. I am well aware of that. He glances at me from the corner of his eyes. His gesture doesn't give away any of his thoughts. Nearly half an hour passes before I am done helping the servants clean up. All the while, Prince Aurelius stood by the table, observing me in pensive silence. When we are done at last, he motions the servants away. It's getting late. I'm going back to my room. Sure. Good night, Rosenkreuz. Good night, Your Highness. I receive a curt nod of acknowledgement. Prince Aurelius walks in long, rapid strides into the crowd and out of my sight. Okay, there's an update about Aurelius. Interesting. I take my leave from the state dinner as soon as it is polite to do so. I haven't had a wink of sleep since the night before last, and the effects are starting to take their toll on me. Let's figure out what these effects are in the next part. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. And now I'm really curious how we are going to finish 11 weeks in one demo. This is going to be a pretty long demo, isn't it? I can't wait for this to release next year. Someone in spring, I believe. I pre-ordered it. I know I shouldn't pre-order games, but I don't know. I am in the mood to do so. Something like that. Yeah, alright. I hope you enjoyed it. And I hope to see you next time. Bye bye.